A year ago, I posted a video building an end-to-end e-commerce data pipeline with Snowflake, dbt, and Airflow. It became the most watched video on this channel, and the comments kept asking the same two questions. Is this still the right stack in 2026? And how would you add AI to it? So today, I'm rebuilding the entire pipeline from scratch, the way I would build it right now. Same e-commerce use case, delayed order alerting and all, but with everything I've learned since, plus a new AI layer that figures out why orders are delayed automatically. All of the code is linked in the description, so you can build this yourself. Let's get into it. Here's the picture. We have an e-commerce company. Orders, customers, and payments land as raw data. We need three things out of this pipeline. 1. Clean, tested, modeled data in Snowflake that analysts can actually trust. 2. An alerting system. When orders are delayed beyond their promised shipping date, the ops team gets a Slack message before the customer complains. And 3, and this is the new 2026 part, an AI layer. Last year, the alert just said order 1042 is delayed. This year, the pipeline reads the order's metadata, the carrier events, the warehouse notes, and uses a language model to classify the root cause. Carrier issue, inventory issue, payment hold, or address problem. And then it routes the alert to the right team. Now, why am I using the same stack as last year? Because it's still what companies actually run. I interview data engineers, and I read job descriptions every single week. Snowflake plus dbt plus Airflow is still the most common combination in 2026. What changed is not the tools. What changed is how we use them. 3-layer architecture, incremental models, hard quality gates, and AI enrichment running inside the pipeline. That's the difference between a 2025 pipeline and a 2026 pipeline, and you'll see every one of those as we build. First, raw data. In the real world, this lands from Fivetran, Kafka, or your application databases. For this build, I wrote a generator that produces realistic e-commerce data. 2,000 orders, 500 customers, payments, and carrier scan events. And here's the important design decision. About 8% of orders are intentionally delayed, split across 4 root causes. A carrier problem shows up as a 48-hour gap between package scans. An inventory problem leaves a warehouse note about restocking. A payment hold shows up in the payment status. And a bad address leaves a verification failure note. This matters because our AI layer later has to figure these out from the raw signals, exactly the way it would in production. And notice, the data is messy on purpose. The same country appears spelled 3 different ways. 5% of customer emails are null. And I injected 25 duplicate order rows. Why? Because if your demo data is perfectly clean, your pipeline is a lie. Every cleaning step we build downstream exists because of a specific mess we created right here. When you put this project on your resume and an interviewer asks how you handle data quality, you'll have a real answer. Now we land this in Snowflake, and here's the first thing I do differently from last year's video. A proper 3-layer database structure. Raw, staging, and analytics. The raw layer is append only, and nobody queries it directly. This medallion-style layering is non-negotiable in 2026. Every serious data team does it. Also, look at the warehouse sizing. Extra small, with auto-suspend at 60 seconds. People burn Snowflake credits by leaving warehouses running. This entire demo costs cents. The load itself uses copy into with explicit error handling. Last year I skipped this, and 3 people in the comments got stuck. On error continue means a few bad rows don't kill your entire load. And then immediately after, we run validate to see exactly which rows were rejected and why. Bad rows that fail silently are how data teams lose trust. Bad rows that get caught and inspected are just Tuesday. Now the heart of it, dbt. The structure is simple. Staging models first, 1 per source table, and they do exactly 3 jobs. Rename, cast, and clean. No joins, no business logic. Then the Marts layer, where the business logic lives, and tests on every single model. Let's walk through the interesting parts. Here's stage orders. 2 things to notice. First, deduplication with row number over the natural key. Remember, our raw data has duplicates on purpose, and this is where they die. We keep only the most recently loaded version of each order. Second, The is delayed flag is computed right here in one place. An order is delayed if it shipped after the promise date, or if it never shipped and the promise date has passed. Define a business concept like this once in staging, and every downstream model inherits the same definition. Define it in 5 different dashboards, and you'll have 5 different answers to the same question. Remember those 3 spellings of the same country? Here's where they get normalized. One case statement in one staging model. This looks trivial, but it's the pattern that matters. Every piece of mess gets fixed exactly once at the staging layer, and everything downstream sees clean data. When a new mess shows up, and it always does, you know exactly which file to open. And every model gets tests, unique and not null on the keys, accepted values on the statuses, relationship tests between payments and orders. Here's the way to think about it. When this pipeline breaks at 3 in the morning, and every pipeline eventually breaks at 3 in the morning, a failing DBT test tells you exactly which assumption broke in which model. That's the difference between a 5-minute fix and a 5-hour investigation. Tests are the cheapest insurance in data engineering. Now the Marts layer. Fact orders joins orders, customers, and payments into the one table analysts actually use. And notice the config block. This is an incremental model. On each run, it only processes new or recently changed orders and merges them in by order ID. Last year, I full refreshed everything on every run. At demo scale, nobody notices. At real scale, that's the difference between a 2-minute run and a 2-hour run, and between a small Snowflake bill and a horrifying one. And then the model that powers the whole alerting system. Alert delayed orders. It picks up every currently delayed order and joins in the carrier scan gaps and warehouse notes. And here is the key design decision of this entire video. It packs all the evidence the AI will need into a single context blob column. The dbt model prepares the evidence. The AI judges it. Keep those 2 responsibilities separate, and you can swap the model, change the prompt, even switch AI providers, without ever touching your transforms. Mix them together, and every AI change becomes a data engineering change. Now the part that didn't exist in last year's video. The AI layer. The classify delays task takes every delayed order from the dbt model and sends the context blob to Claude with a tightly constrained prompt. The model sees the days late, the carrier scan gaps, the payment status, the warehouse notes, and answers one question. What's the most likely root cause? Most people get AI and pipelines wrong in 3 specific ways, so let me show you the 3 things this implementation does differently. Rule 1. The model must answer with one of exactly 5 categories, and we validate its response against that list in code. If it answers anything else, anything at all, we file the order as unclassified and a human looks at it. Never, ever let free text language model output flow into a downstream system. The prompt asks for one word. The code enforces it. Prompts are requests. Validation is law. Rule 2. Every single prompt and every single response gets logged to a table in Snowflake. When the ops team asks, why did the system say this was a carrier issue? You don't shrug. You query the log and show them exactly what evidence the model saw and exactly what it said. Auditability is what makes AI acceptable in production pipelines. A model you can't audit is a model you'll eventually have to turn off. Rule 3. Cost control. We classify only new delayed orders. The query left joins against the audit log and skips anything already classified, which also makes the whole task idempotent. Rerun the pipeline and nothing gets classified twice, nothing gets alerted twice. And we use a small, fast model, Claude Haiku, because the task is 1 word of output. At an 8% delay rate on this volume, the daily AI spend is well under a cent. AI enrichment is absurdly cheap when you aim it precisely and absurdly expensive when you don't. And here's what the ops team actually sees. Last year, the alert said, Order 1042 is delayed. This year it says, Order 1042, 3 days late, likely cause carrier issue, FedEx scan gap of 48 hours, routed to the logistics channel. Payment holds go to the payments team. Address problems go to customer support. That's the upgrade in one sentence. From a pipeline that reports problems to a pipeline that triages them. Finally, the Airflow DAG that ties it all together. Load the raw data, run dbt, test dbt, classify the delays, send the alerts. 5 tasks, 1 straight line. And notice the dependency chain, because the most important character in this DAG is dbt test, sitting in the middle of it. dbt test is a hard gate. If the tests fail, the AI never runs and the alerts never fire, because alerting on bad data is worse than not alerting at all. The Snowflake and API tasks retry with exponential backoff, because networks fail, and that should be boring, not a page. And the whole DAG is idempotent. You can rerun any day twice and nothing duplicates. Gated, retried, idempotent. Burn that trio into your brain, because when an interviewer asks you to design a pipeline, those 3 properties are what they're actually probing for. Most candidates talk about tools. Strong candidates talk about properties. So let's zoom out at what you just built. A 3-layer Snowflake warehouse. Tested, incremental dbt models where every business concept has exactly one definition. An AI layer that triages problems instead of just reporting them, with validation, audit logging, and cost control around it. And an Airflow DAG with real production hygiene. This is genuinely the project I would build today to learn the 2026 data stack, and it's a strong portfolio piece for exactly the same reason. All of the code is linked in the description. Clone it, run the data generator, point it at a free Snowflake trial account, and you'll have the whole thing working in under an hour. If you build it, tell me in the comments what you would add next. I'm thinking real-time ingestion with Snowflake dynamic tables for a future video. If you found this useful, a like genuinely helps this channel, and subscribe for the next build. And if you're preparing for data engineering interviews, my video on the questions Google actually asks is on screen now. Thanks for watching Data Depth. See you in the next one.